For as long as I can remember, saying no has always been a struggle for me. I'd say yes to everything, even in times when every fiber of my being wanted to say no. Looking back, I didn't realize I was a people pleaser, where saying yes made me feel safe because it gave me approval and helped me to avoid conflict. Deep down, this all stemmed from fear. But here's what I didn't realize at the time. Whenever I said yes when I wanted to say no, I was actually saying no to myself. No to my own agency, no to my own energy, and no to my own time. Little by little, this made me pliable, leading to an erosion of my self-worth. On top of this, I was unaware of the fact that by always saying yes, I was also teaching people how to treat me, where I became that person who always went with the flow, listening and doing what everyone else wanted. If you've ever felt this way, in this episode, I'm going to explain both the psychology and neuroscience behind why saying no feels so difficult. I'll walk you through a step-by-step process for how to say no effectively so you can set boundaries without feeling guilty. And if you stick around till the end of this video, you'll learn what you can expect from people around you when you start saying no. Now, before we dive in, I want to ask you a question. What if every no you said was actually an investment in your own self-worth? Would that change the way you looked at it? Just think about it. People pleasers say yes when they want to say no because our brains are wired for safety. Psychologically, this comes from the fear of being disliked, fear of disappointing others, and fear of rejection. If you really think about it, historically, being rejected from your tribe basically equated to death. And in modern society, even though our circumstances have changed, that same fear of being quote unquote exiled from the tribe still triggers those same feelings of fear. And that's why we have the urge to say yes. Saying yes avoids rejection, it gains social approval, and it reduces the chance of conflict. But if we don't change this internal narrative, we start to believe that our value is tied to whether we are accepted by others or what we can do for people around us. And here's the hidden cost. The more you say yes to things when you want to say no, then the more disconnected you become from yourself. You send your brain a subtle message that your needs come second to everyone else around you. Now, from a neuroscience perspective, neuroscience shows that saying yes can trigger the release of dopamine, where your brain's reward system lights up because you get external validation. While on the other side of this, even the thought of saying no can light up your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear and threat detection. This is why you can interpret potential conflict as a threat, leading you to feel guilty or anxious. But what happens when you start practicing saying no? Through neuroplasticity, your brain begins to build new neural pathways, and you're essentially teaching your nervous system that it's safe to say no, that you are not in danger, and over time, your brain learns a new pattern. By the way, if you're looking to stop overthinking, improve your decision making, or make a mindset shift, I come out with a weekly mindset newsletter. It's absolutely free, and I share personal stories that I don't post anywhere else, and it's a great way to connect, so I'll drop a link in the description below. So if you struggle with saying no, here's a step-by-step process that will empower you to become bolder and more confident when setting your boundaries. Step 1. Build awareness. The first step is always awareness. Notice what happens in your body right before you say yes. What is your gut telling you? And this isn't just a figure of speech. Your gut has around 500 million neurons, which makes it the second highest concentration of neurons in your body after the brain. So listening to your gut is a real science. Let's say a coworker asks you to stay late and you're instantly feeling drained. That's your body telling you to say no. When you're aware of how you feel about a request, deep down, you know the answer that you want to give. Step 2, pause before answering. You don't owe anyone an immediate yes. You can say, let me check and get back to you, or I'll get back to you tomorrow. When you pause and give yourself time, this shifts your decision-making away from a fear-driven response in your amygdala to a rational response by your prefrontal cortex. Just remember that a request for a yes or no answer is still a request, and you get to decide the response. Step 3, communicate your boundaries clearly. Boundaries aren't vague. They are clear and direct. Instead of saying, I'll try, say it in a way that doesn't leave room for interpretation, like, unfortunately, I'm not available after 7 p.m. today. In your personal life, this could be, I can't talk right now, but let's connect tomorrow. And at work, this could be, I don't have the bandwidth to take on this project. When you hold firm to your boundaries without needing to over-explain yourself, this leaves less room for objection or guilt tripping from others. Step 4, practice small no's. If saying no feels overwhelming, you can always start small by practicing saying no in low-stakes situations. Maybe it's as simple as declining an invitation you don't want to attend. When you practice these small reps of saying no, what you're doing is building the new neural pathways that make saying no feel more natural. And over time, these repetitions rewire your brain to make it a habit, eventually giving you the confidence to say no in bigger situations. And step 5, remember your self-worth. This is at the center of it all. Remind yourself that your self-worth is not tied to how much you do for others. It's tied to your values, your integrity, and your goals. Every time you say no from a place of self-respect, you are saying yes to yourself and to the things that you believe are meaningful. This helps you shift your mindset into a position where your priorities come first. Now, here's the hard truth that people don't really talk about if you've been a people pleaser who has always said yes. When you start saying no, not everyone's gonna like it, and that's okay. You might experience friction or pushback from people who've gotten used to just you agreeing all the time. But this is actually a gift because it shows you who respects your boundaries and who doesn't. If certain people in your life are only used to getting what they want, then they might be taking advantage of your kindness. And this is great because it's a sign where setting your boundaries will help you filter out relationships that are built on taking from you instead of mutual respect. The next time you feel that gut reaction telling you to say no, I want you to pause and give yourself the space to decide for yourself. Saying no when you don't want to is a form of self-respect. And the thing is, it's also a more honest answer to yourself and others. Just remember that boundaries are not walls to block people out. They are bridges that help you connect back to your true sense of self, your priorities, your goals, and to a life where you're not being pulled by the wants and needs of everyone else around you. So thanks so much for watching. My name is Dexter. I'm a mindset coach and I talk about self-awareness, decision-making, and building a purpose-driven life. If you like this content, please don't forget to subscribe and also share this content with someone else who you might think is a people pleaser or is struggling to say no so that you can help them to set boundaries and build up their own self-worth. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.